Welcome to the 2019 Major League Baseball Playoff Preview on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel. My name is Rici. Let's play ball.
Right back at you as promised right here. Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition with my guy, Rici. Rici, how you feeling today, sir?
How you doing, DJ BigBoss? How is everything today? Great morning when I could get up and see you. This is great.
Absolutely. I'm totally excited, man, to have a decent week in college football. And we starting to get a little playoff play. I think it's time for me to start dipping back into that baseball fund and get some of these baseball games. Now, this week, we have some exciting wild card matchups, as well as we're going to be going over into the full-fledged playoffs. Now, looking at the whole season as a whole, Rici, how do you feel the season played out for the most part?
Well, if I could be honest about it, I would say pretty much the teams that played hard in the second half really made it to the playoffs. I mean, if I talk about my heart, we all know I'm a big Met fan, and I wish they were here, and I wish I was talking about them. But they really didn't deserve it. Teams like the Nationals and the Brewers really came on strong. For the Brewers, in September, there was no hotter team. So there's going to be a tough little wild card game. You know, when you have these one-card playoff games, these wild-card playoff games, they're really just, to see who's going to really be in the playoffs. So when teams get a little bit carried away, I think, when they celebrate that they made the wild card, because all it means is you're playing one more game. So big pressure today, big pressure on the Nationals. They're the favorite by a lot. I'm seeing now about a minus 170. That line has been changing up and down. And we do have the Brewers at a plus 160. So, like I said, I think they deserve to be there. I think all the teams do. It's what I did find out about the playoffs this year is that the top 10 teams that hit the most home runs in baseball this past season, 7 of those teams are in the playoffs. So that got to show you how much the home run really means a lot. And if we keep that in the back of our mind, let's see how this plays out.
Absolutely. So,
who we think are the best teams didn't hit the most home runs. I mean, the Twins, 307, the Yankees, 306, the Astros, 288, the Dodgers, 279 home runs. They all hit a lot of home runs this year, and they're the top teams that are going to be really the teams to beat. But what we got to do is start with the game we have in front of us, and that's tonight. Matt Scherzer against Brad Woodruff. It's 8 p.m. start, I think. From what I see with the weather, it's around 6 miles an hour blowing out from right to center. So the weather shouldn't be an issue. 77 degrees. Great night to play baseball.
Nice. Now, looking back at the season, I know we're moving forward into the game, but looking back at the season, and I totally agree that your Mets, kind of got a bad beat on the season right there. Is there any other teams you think kind of fell short that probably should be in this wild card?
Well, after the All-Star break, things really start changing, and it's part of my philosophy in handicapping the second half as opposed to the first half with Major League Baseball. And then we've seen teams like the Cubs start coming on. We've seen the Cardinals come on out of nowhere. We've seen the Brewers try to lose but come back every time. And but what I would see, the biggest disappointment would have to be the Chicago Cubs. They really were the team that was supposed to be in it. They had everything falling in place, and the last 3 weeks they just fell apart. They even fired their manager after the season. So that team, I would really think, even more than the Mets, I would think the Cubs were the team that I thought was going to make it and didn't. Oh, and then there is one more team that's in the American League. That's a team that a lot of our fellow low baggers back on a big price, and I don't blame them for backing. But the Cleveland Indians fell short. Mm-hmm. When it came down to the last 2 weeks, when it came down to it, the Rays played better, the A's played better, and that's why those two teams are playing tomorrow night for the AL wild card.
That's right. Now let's jump right into the fun stuff, the good stuff, the capping and all that stuff. And let's take a look at the wild card game, starting with the Brewers in Washington. Now, on the mound, we have Woodruff and Scherzer. What do you think about this matchup here, Rici?
I'll tell you, Matt Scherzer is known as a amped up pitcher. He's known as someone that has to get his emotions under control. He reminds me a little bit of like that Marcus Stroman. Not that Stroman's as good a pitcher as Scherzer, but they are both very emotional guys. And when things don't go their way, they could implode. So it's something to keep an eye out. But Scherzer is the better pitcher. Brad Woodruff, somebody I've seen twice this year at Citi Field, and someone that pitched very, very well. I believe he's 7-0 this year versus the NL East. So the Nats might have to be keep their eye on the ball with this kid. But he did get hurt a few games ago. He had an oblique injury. So this is his third game back after that, and we'll see if he's totally healthy. But as far as the pitching matchup on the stats, on paper, Scherzer's the better pitcher. But we all know one-game playoff, like I say, never know what's going to happen.
That's right. Now, what do you think about Woodruff in this matchup?
I'll tell you, Woodruff, he's, like I said, he's been pitching good. He tends to pitch to a lot of lower scoring games. But he has pitched very well versus the NL East. The Brewers in general play very well against pitches with low whips like Scherzer. Woodruff 11-3 total for the year, a 3.62 ERA. 1.27 whip. So he could pitch. He's a good pitcher. The problem is, what about this one game? What about a Nats team that is really hot, that can hit the ball? They really can hit some home runs in that park, and they play very well at home, the Nats. So it's such a tough game to call as far as that's concerned. Of course, me as a total player, I always look at totals. It has gone down to 7.5, and something just tells me that we might see some runs in this game tonight.
Now, what about the side on this? Now, the Nationals, I see them at Pinnacle at minus 174, 5 Dimes minus 170. Bookmaker has them at minus 178, and BetOnline has them at minus 177. Looks like a lot of volatility there on this team pointing upwards. You think that it's going to be a lockdown for the Nats to win this?
Yeah, I'll tell you, in the playoffs and lines, it just, in my head, I know some people won't agree with this at all, and I know some have talked about this. The line adjustment in the playoffs is just crazy. I always find this so overinflated, these lines. Could the Nats be a minus 190 like they were yesterday? Well, now we're seeing a 177? That's a high line for a one-game playoff. But I just feel like this time of year, people seem to bet the teams that they're fans of. People tend to bet who they think are the better team and don't mind laying the extra money as they would during the regular season. I know how, as the year goes on, I don't look at the line as much as I do at the beginning of the year. I'll let a 15-cent move in the first half of the year get me off a game. Second half of the year, I don't really do that because I find that the lines start getting overinflated. The bookies know which teams people are betting. And so I don't really, I don't use the line value as much as I do as the season goes on. I do always keep my cap at minus 140. I won't go over that. I don't care if it's the playoffs, it's the World Series. I'm not going over a minus 140. So except maybe in a future bet. But as far as that's concerned, that's my way. But I know a lot of people will bet tonight that big wood. We even heard Teddy Covers yesterday talk about that, how he wants to bet the Dodgers going through and through. Now he's going to be laying a lot of money to do that, but different theories.
Now, in this situation that we have right here with the Nationals, and you leaning towards the over, do you think this is a spot we should jump in on the Nationals on the run line?
Well, I tell you, that I don't know. I feel a little bit safer with the total. Tell you the truth, I was actually looking at the first 5 as an underplay, under 4, and then go with the over for the full game because we have these 2 bullpens that we really didn't touch on, but the 2 bullpens are complete opposite of their starters. The Nats have a 5.22 ERA for their bullpen. I mean, that is just so bad. And the Brewers all year, their Achilles heel has been the mid relievers. And, so that's what led me to the over. I could see this game being a 3-1 type of game in the first 6 innings and then it opening up. So as far as the team totals, I don't get those lines yet. I don't know if you have team total lines, but I would definitely lean for the Nationals team total over. If I can get it at about a -130, maybe a 4 over 4 team total, that kind of thing. But with my bookie, I don't get those lines to 12 o'clock Eastern time. So, but that's another lean for me. I just think that Woodruff could get hit. Here's the thing with the Brewers. The Brewers will pull Woodruff out of the game in a heartbeat. Today is a type of game where the Tampa Bay Rays format of using 5 pitches in a day is going to be what's going to happen in these playoffs, because you have to win today. So if Woody don't have it, they're going to bring in somebody like that Josh Harder for a couple innings, or so I could see pitches being moved in and out. I can see this being a 4 or 5 hour game because of that. I just think that we might hit a low total of 7.5. We might hit that over. It's a great line. It really is right there, but I would lean over.
There it is, folks, right here on Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition, MLB Playoffs 2019 preview right now with my guy, Dom Rici. And we're making that play official, Dom?
We're going to make it official, DJ. We're going to take over 7.5 for tonight. Brewers at Nationals. 1-game playoff. The winner of this game gets the lucky treat of flying out to LA and playing those hot Dodgers. So there you go. Be careful what you wish for, is what I always say. The winner of this game plays the Dodgers. Thursday night we'll have the Cardinals at Atlanta in Braveland. That should be an exciting game also.
There it is.
We're going to make an official play. Yes, DJ, over 7.5.
Official like a referee's whistle right here, Dom Rici. Nationals over 7.5 right here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition. Now, let's take a look at tomorrow's matchup, which is quite interesting. We have 96 and 66 Tampa Bay Rays at the 97 and 65 Oakland A's. Despite the unknowns with the pitchers in Oakland right now, Dom Rici, what's your look on this game right here?
Well, I'll tell you, I see it's weird. I see on MLB.com they don't have a pitcher listed. On Yahoo, they have Sean Mania listed for Oakland. They do have Charlie Morton up, the veteran, for Tampa Bay. This guy knows, he knows playoffs. He's been around a long time. Tampa Bay Rays are a tough team. I kind of lean towards them, but I haven't really 100% jumped into the game because of the pitching matchup. What we do know is that Oakland's a tough place to play, and games out there seem to fall under totals because of those wide foul lines and stuff that where that stadium's situated. So it has a bigger foul ball area in that stadium than most, and that really attributes to a lot of unders in that game, and something I followed a lot part of the year and was successful on. But that being said, I really like the Tampa Bay Rays. I think they are a team that could go maybe far in this league. I think even the Yankees might have a problem with them, which leads me into a whole nother discussion about that series, Yankees-Twins. But we'll get into that once we know who's playing where after these wild card. But I lean the Rays. Opening, I lean the Rays to take this game, which will be tough in Oakland.
That's right. That's right. Now, being that we probably won't be on for that game, give the people your Twitter so they can stay in tune with your pick on that game for tomorrow.
Okay, I'm on Twitter at Dom541 on Twitter. That's it, at Dom541.
There you go, at Dom541 on Twitter. And we're right here on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition. If you really like this, please hit the like button on this video. And also, if you missed the live presentation of this one, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so you can know anytime that we got something going on right here on YouTube on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition, MLB Playoffs 2019. Hey, Dom Rici, you got anything you want to tell the people?
I'll tell you, something I was thinking about the other day is how we tend to shy away from baseball as soon as football starts. We know hockey starts this week. And, that's just a normal thing. But for me, I tried the last 2 years to not go away from baseball so much, so quickly. We bet baseball 180 days this year. We bet baseball 3 and 4 games a day. Some of us played 700, 800 bets on baseball this year. And then all of a sudden at the end of the year, we start fading away from it when the playoffs start, when we could use some of what we've learned all year to our advantage. So that's something I think maybe people shouldn't just jump off of baseball so quick. There's plenty of football left. There's plenty of hockey starting. So, for me, with some success, I've done it last year and this year. I just waited like 2 weeks to start with my football and with the college, which is not my greatest sport, and with NFL. So, that's something I think people should look at. I think there's plenty more baseball to be played. If all the series go full, we'll be playing baseball till October 30th. That's when the Game 7 of the World Series is listed. So we definitely have 3 weeks of baseball coming up, maybe 4 weeks. We'll see what happens. We could have some upsets coming.
Absolutely. A wise man once told me before that it's all about balance, Don Rici, all about balance. Got to keep that balance between those sports. Right. If you want to go in the positive, you got to stay balanced. But I love your look. Great having you here doing this Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition, man. I loved every bit of it. When are we going to be back on with this? Can you give them a little insight? It don't have to be the exact date. They can stay tuned to me and you on Twitter, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to know exactly when things are going on. But tentative, what do we have going on with you for baseball this week, Don Rici?
Well, tentative, we could start Thursday. If we could get this going Thursday morning, we'll know which wild card teams are playing where. We have, Thursday night we have the Cardinals and the Braves playing on Thursday. Friday you have the Yankees and the Twins playing. There's a lot of games starting up between Thursday and Friday. It's going to be a big weekend for baseball. So maybe if we can get something going on Thursday or maybe on Friday night on the lounge. Don't miss the lounge on the Who-Bangin Sports Talk channel. It's at 9 p.m. on Friday night with the boss and the sauce. So maybe we could touch a little bit then. But it would have to be at least Thursday before we know where everything is going and get the pitching. We can't do nothing unless we know who's pitching. This is playoffs. It's all about pitching and home runs.
There you go. Y'all heard it first right here from our guy, Don Rici, on Who-Bangin Sports Talk Baseball Edition. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And y'all stay tuned. We got more coming soon. We out.